of Africa. This is a cozy gathering. Mali led by President Assimi Goïta, the man who started it all, and Niger led by President Abdurrahman Tian. Good afternoon to President Zuma in KZN leading the MK party. Good afternoon to all the royals, to ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mkhonto. This is the royal opinion. Thank you very much for joining, and thank you very much for liking and sharing my videos. Today I want us to talk. This is a cozy kind of gathering. I want us to talk about the impact of the ruling, of the Concord ruling, the impact of the Concord ruling, the Concord ruling which said, which declared uh, the Birth and Death Registration Act portion of it unconstitutional. It was declared unconstitutional because um, it was discriminatory, according to the judgment. It was discriminatory against men who were not allowed to take women's surname. So the judgment came to allow the Constitutional Court made a judgment, a ruling over the previous week that men can now take their wife's surname. That is the background of what we are talking about here today. We want to talk about the impact of this and the agenda. What is the agenda behind all of this? What is the agenda behind this constitutional court ruling? So I want us to talk about the constitutional court ruling and the agenda behind the ruling. So we will look at it in a different way. The first way in which I want us to look at the ruling is uh, the impact, the political impact of the ruling. And for each one, I will give a background. The people that we are talking about here, the people who are giving this judgment, it should be said, is the ruling elite, is the people who are governing the world, and the people who have been governing South Africa and maybe the rest of Africa as well, and the rest of the world. These are the people who are giving this type of judgment. Um, the reasoning of the ruling class is, it's not a problem when a cat eats a mouse, because a cat has to eat a mouse uh, for its survival. their thinking pattern is it's not a problem when the lion eat the buffalo, kills the buffalo and eat it, because the lion is the superior animal and is looking for its survival in the field. That is their thinking pattern. Their thinking pattern is anyone who is weak should be destroyed. Anyone who could be destroyed should be destroyed. Anyone who should be ignored should be ignored. According to them, uh, the the evolution process has concluded. But when the evolution process was happening, God has left the black man in a state of disarray. According to them, evolution has concluded without completing the evolution of the black man. So they say the black man has been left in his barbaric state uh, by the evolution process. So the white man has got nothing to do with the situation of the black man, because God has left the black man in his barbaric state. The, then they should leave him in that barbaric state. According to them, they are not looking at people as human beings. They are not looking at black people as human beings. Like they have taken animals and closed them in particular lands here across Africa or across South Africa, including the black man among the animals. According to them, the ruler of the world is the one who's got means to destroy others. The ones who've got means to bully everybody should rule the world. They say the mighty is right and is always right. So every time when the might is speaking, then the tiny should just listen. They say the culture of the what happens with the culture of the or of the tiny. They say the culture of the minor or the culture of the buffalo should be left to be determined by the lion. The lion's culture should be the dominant culture because the lion is the one who rules the jungle, according to them. So the culture of the black man should be struggling for survival, according to them, their pattern of thinking. Our culture should be struggling for survival, and the culture of the superior people should be the one, or the superior people or the ruling elite should be the one choosing the culture for black people. That is their thinking pattern. Let me first talk about the importance of culture and the source of culture. Culture is a very, very important part of human development in Africa. Culture is the one which helps human beings to know what is the limit, what are the behavioral taboos, what are the things that should not be, what is the limit, what are the things that we should not engage in, and how to handle life, how everything about life comes from culture. So basically, life of any African person comes from their culture. The source of the culture is the language. If they speak the language, they are able to get the culture from the language, because a culture is a spoken word which is alive, a procedure which has been tested over several times, a way of life which has been tested over several generations and found to work in all generations at all times. That's what we call our culture, the way to handle things. What happens? What do you do when somebody close to you passed away? What do you do when you want to get married? What do you do when you get a little older? What is not to do when you are when you are an adult, or when you are still a boy? All of these are part of what is in our culture, in our language, in our culture. When we know our culture, the culture dictates all of those elements about us. Basically, culture dictates all of our lives and all of our thinking while we are in the planet. So if you erode people from their culture, if you remove people from their culture, you remove them from their foundation. It means when you remove these people from their culture, it means these people has no limit on what to do about others, how to relate with others. We learn how to relate with others through culture. Because you will only know that oh Kimalume through culture. So if somebody is your uncle through culture, so it means all of our lives is basically channeled through culture. That's how important it is. That's how important is culture in our lives, our culture. So, but this is not the culture of the ruling elite. This is not the culture that the ruling elite want to implement among us. They want to see us in chaos. They want to see us struggling for survival. Whatever we do for them is just a game. They are just moving a chess piece in their exploitation, in their it's like when a cat is playing with its food. For them, it's like when they make such judgments, for them, it's like a cat playing with the mouse before it eats it, before it can devour it. They've got no sense of, they don't have any sense of culture. The culture of the culture that they imposed on us is Christianity. But Christianity had lost value and legitimacy in Europe in the 1800s. They revived Christianity only to recolonize Africa, to colonize Africa. But already in the 1800s, Christianity had already lost its value among the white people, white citizens, white ordinary citizens. Christianity had lost its value. So people were becoming cultureless, and they could see how they could exploit the situation where people are actually cultureless. If people are cultureless, it means they can do anything you want them to do. If you can make their brothers sleep with sisters, mothers sleep with children, all of those fathers sleep with, you can create a lot of chaos for people who are uncultured, because there's no limit on what you can do or what people can do when there's no culture. So the aim of the judgment is to destroy the culture and to put the culture of the black man into struggle and destroy it, shame it, and destroy the culture, so that the black man will become cultureless. When the black man is cultureless, what to achieve uh, is control. It will be easier to control. We will be able to control him, so that he does not, we will control all aspects of his life, including his reproduction. We will control how many children are going to be born by black people. So when people become cultureless, they become dull, because source of intelligence is in the culture. When people become cultureless, they become heartless. They are not even able to love, because the language of love and humanity and Ubuntu is found in the culture. When people become cultureless, they become um, heartless criminals, because they have no feeling, they have no limit on what they can do. They have never been taught any limits by any culture. So the judgment will achieve an even more chaotic society in the future. This is one aspect of the judgment. It will achieve a more chaotic society in the future, where people will be, living in cultureless society, confused, without knowing what to do and what not to do. What are the limits? Who am I? It will actually eliminate even the roots, the roots of many people. Who am I? Because at the end of the day, in the future, what is going to happen? We're going to have Mkhize, who is a white person, Mkhonto, who is a white person, or Mkhonto, who is a Pakistani, who's been married to my sister. So the question The slaves were creating everything that the white people were consuming. The slaves were creating their cars. Their their children were rotting in laziness. The white people decided to end slavery to save their children from rotting in laziness. They say the black men, the slaves are here to take your jobs. Chase the slaves out and you will get your jobs. That's where the statement comes from. It's it comes from the 1800 in America, where the white people said, the white children said, the slaves have come to take our jobs. Even here today in South Africa, the South Africans are saying the slaves have come to take our jobs, which are the African people are here to take our jobs and to take our resources. So we should chase them away, we should destroy them, which maintains the hate between and maintain the violence between black people, and preserve the master. The confrontation of the master is delayed because we all should be uniting the people who are displaced from Zimbabwe and the people who are displaced from because of the dollar in Zimbabwe, the weaponization of the dollar by America after they've taken the land, because of the weaponization of the dollar, because of the terrorist organizations that were created by America and France in Mozambique when they wanted to mine the gas in Mozambique. The people who were displaced then come to South Africa to become the slaves of masters. The black people from Mozambique who were displaced and the black people from Zimbabwe who were displaced are supposed to unite to fight against the person who is creating all this. No time for confrontation with the master. The master is preserved while black people fight among themselves. The slaves are coming to take my job. We're still talking about the cultural impact or the impact of the judgment on black people. So the political impact, what I would call the political impact of the judgment, is it's going to create confusion for the IEC. Um, the Constitutional Court is preparing for the next election, is preparing for vote rigging uh, across the board. They're preparing for vote rigging. There's a lot of people who come from Zimbabwe, a lot of men who come from Mozambique, who are married to people, South Africans. So they want to register most people who are not from South Africa, people who are from Zimbabwe, some who are from Mozambique, they want to register them as South Africans because they know these two black people or the two South Africans and the Zimbabweans, they don't like each other. If you give a Zimbabwean the ID in South Africa, is going to vote for the white man. If you give the Mozambican an ID in South Africa, is going to vote for the white man because the black man is beating him up in the street. This is the situation they have created to exploit black people. Like they say, it's like they don't care. They know they look at black people as a situation to exploit, not as people. They look at us as situation which they can exploit. They usually have an agenda. So they want to create chaos for the IEC during registration. They want to register more people who are not South Africans so that they can create more fake votes to fight against the MK party, because the MK party is the biggest threat of the white system at the moment. The biggest threat that gives them sleepless night is the MK party. Um, so they are coming up with that plan to in order to create uh, a fake majority. Because what I speak, it's huge knowledge. It's powerful things that they don't want people to hear or to understand. That's why my videos are hidden for a lot of people. It's because the stuff that we are talking about here, the royal opinion. Click the like button and subscribe. If you are here by mistake, if you don't know who is the royal opinion, my name is Mkhonto. Just click the like button. Judgment. Now we're talking about the political impact would be vote rigging, which preparing for. So the constitutional court, so that they can create a perfect confusion. We can have, we will have surnames, who would be Mkhonto, who would be Uh, whether they like it or not, whether they allow ways to be said or they don't, we will continue to speak and we will continue to tell the truth. Whether they allow the videos to be seen by other people or not, we will keep the record for the sake of history, that there existed black people in that time who could see clearly through the system what was happening and through the system. Though they control all the avenues that we have to share, the avenues that we have to talk to each other, though they allow and cut us as they please in this avenues that were provided, we shall continue to talk to talk the truth about what will be happening and what is the impact of the judgment. The judgment may not have an immediate impact on society, but in the future society, it will have created a lot of chaos. I had another lady arguing that uh, while Africans have their culture, uh, uh, they have created a Nyaope society. While Africans have their culture, they are in deep poverty. Like somebody arguing like that. So, what is the use of keeping the culture? What is the use of arguing the side in which, if you win, you destroy a lot of people? What is the use of taking a posture in which, if you win, a lot of people will be destroyed? Because anyone who argues against culture, if they win, a lot of black people are going to be destroyed in the future. The amount of chaos that they're experiencing at the moment is going to be 1,000 times more than what they're experiencing. A society of zombies is going to be created through this court's ruling. This is not a game. This is something serious. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Much appreciated. Those who are watching and sharing their videos, click the like button. Uh, don't don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Let's fight those who still can. Let's fight. Let's talk the truth irrespective. Maybe this is our only way to fight, because there are no avenues available for fighting as such. President Zuma, please come and save South Africa. Come and save Africa. Give back the land to the African and save him from the slave masters and from the greedy, bloodthirsty colonial master. Thank you very much.